Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Betting Insights. I'm Timothy alongside Sergio, of course. Sergio, welcome.
Hey Tim, hey everybody, welcome back.
Yes, welcome back. Last week we were off due to the international break, but club competition is back. So let's get started. We are giving out picks for five different club competitions across Europe: Serie A, La Liga, Eredivisie, Premier League, and the Bundesliga. So if you're new to the show, be sure to subscribe. Also, smash the like button. Today we are starting with the Bundesliga. Let's not waste too much time. Let's get started. Now, first game on the schedule: Wolfsburg hosting Heidenheim. Wolfsburg wins set at 1.71. Heidenheim wins set at 5.3. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, Wolfsburg in a bit of a rough stretch, only one win in the last five games, but at home they haven't lost that much, right? Still four straight draws, so in desperate need of a win. And I think Heidenheim is the perfect opponent, right? Heidenheim is just awful on the road, at home, doesn't matter. Heidenheim is just flat out awful. Now, one thing you kind of worry about in these games, like Heidenheim is fighting for relegations, and you see towards the end of the season, these lower teams they just start picking up points, but usually not on the road, right? So I like Wolfsburg here. What are you doing?
Yes, I agree. Yeah, they had a rough game last time out, losing against Augsburg. Heidenheim on the other hand, good game against Holstein Kiel. So that was a good game for them. I hope or I think Wolfsburg is gonna bounce back this weekend against Heidenheim. They were on a high, a good win against Holstein Kiel. So Wolfsburg at home, I think it should be a much better game from them.
Yeah, and beating Holstein Kiel doesn't really say anything, right? So,
But for
Wolfsburg,
Heidenheim, it does.
yeah, all right, for them it does, right? It was important points, but overall it doesn't say much. You were at home, so guess basically you had to win that game. On the road against Wolfsburg, different story. Right. We both like Wolfsburg. Let's get to the next one. Hosting Kiel, hosting Werder Bremen. Kiel wins set at 3.35. Bremen wins set at 2.1. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, you look at this game and you may think, all right, Bremen's the better team. Eh, I'm not so sure, right? Because if you look at the goal difference, it's very close, right? Bremen has only scored two more goals over the season than Kiel. They're at Kiel's at home. Werder Bremen on the road, not a good spot. Only one win in the last six. And like I
against
said,
against Leverkusen. So so
yeah, for some
that
reason
says
against
something about it
Leverkusen.
also.
Yeah, and like I said, Holstein Kiel right now they'll be fighting for relegation. They're at home. I expect a tough game. I don't like Werder Bremen here. What are you doing?
Yeah, I don't like Werder Bremen also, but Holstein Kiel, they're I think they're in maybe just a little bit worse shape than Werder Bremen. So at an odd sitting at two, it's still worth to try. Um, um, so don't count them out completely.
Yeah, I'm not counting them out completely, but Bremen, they've won one game in the last seven and not even draws, just six straight up L's. Now, listen, like I said, now they go on the road against a team like in desperate need of points. Not a good spot. And obviously, I don't like, I don't want to put my money on Kiel, right? Worst team in the league. I don't trust them, but I can't trust Werder Bremen in this spot. So basically, this game is a stay away for me. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I will. I'm gonna sprinkle something on Werder Bremen.
Right. I can do anything else than wish you luck, but I'm staying far away from that game. Let's get to the next one. Gladbach hosting Leipzig. Gladbach wins set at 3. Leipzig wins set at 2.35. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, Leipzig, they've kind of been struggling to score goals over the last couple of games, but still on the season, 41 goals scored, Gladbach 43 goals scored. Gladbach also 40 goals allowed, so the number of total goals sitting at 2.5 is just an obvious over for me. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm going for Gladbach. I think Gladbach at the moment in better form. Maybe not the better team, but um, Gladbach's form at the moment, and especially at home, I think I'm just going for Gladbach.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. Like Leipzig, if you look at Leipzig on the road, one win in the last, what's it like, 13 games or something, and that was just a win against Kiel. That was the only win in the last, like, in a somewhat 100 road game. So I would agree with you there. Gladbach at home, better pick here. I like the over 2.5. All right. Next up, Hoffenheim hosting Augsburg. Hoffenheim wins set at 2.43. Augsburg wins set at 3.15. Line for the total goals, again, 2.5. And again, I'm leaning towards the home team here, but I think this is a tough matchup. Both teams, if you look at how they're playing, they're kind of on the same level at the moment. Hoffenheim, they've lost one game out of the last five, and Augsburg in now six straight games and undefeated, but only three wins. They've been struggling to score goals over the last six games. Only one game they've scored more than one goal. Three out of those six games were like 0-0 draws. So I'm not expecting too many goals in this game. I have a slight lean towards the home team because I think high chance of a draw. What are you doing?
Yeah, slightly in also, but for me, for Augsburg, not not Hoffenheim. I still think Augsburg can, if they they draw or they win, So draw a win against Dortmund was a surprising one, of course. 1-0. Wolfsburg also 1-0. Maybe it's they're up for a third 1-0 in a row. So lean towards Augsburg for me.
I'm leaning towards the home team. They're at home. But listen, man, I can't really make a good case for Hoffenheim. Only two wins in the last 13 home games, so just a slight lean. Don't really love this game. Right, next up, Bayern Munich hosting St. Pauli. Bayern wins set at 1.16. St. Pauli wins set at 18. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Now, obviously, we don't have to talk about which team's the better one here. Bayern, obviously, the better team. And the odds kind of speaks for themselves, 1.16. I'm looking more at the total goals here, sitting at 3.5. I like the under, right? So, St. Pauli, obviously, a team that doesn't score too many goals, right? 20 goals scored in 26 games.
Yeah,
But
no, they score a lot.
no, but for a team that's sitting 15, they also don't allow too many goals. Only 30 goals allowed. That's less than Leverkusen, who's sitting at second. So, and if you watch St. Pauli play, man, it doesn't get any worse than that in terms of parking the bus. And especially against Bayern Munich, they're gonna park the bus. I can't see Bayern scoring four goals in this game, so give me the under 3.5. What are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah, under 3.5, I agree. Bayern had trouble scoring against Union. Also, it was a draw, and they're playing at the home now, so they will win, I think, but not a lot of goals. Maybe a 2-0 max, I think. So yeah, Bayern win, but don't expect a lot of goals.
Yeah, I would agree there. All right, next up, Frankfurt hosting Stuttgart. Frankfurt wins set at 2.43. Stuttgart wins set at 2.75. Line for total goals set at 3.5. Now, Stuttgart, bit of a rough stretch, five straight games without a win. They're a high scoring team. Also, Frankfurt, also a high scoring team, 54 goals scored. Now, Frankfurt at home, they usually score two goals. I'm not sure they win this game because Stuttgart's in desperate need of points, although it seems like a long shot for them to climb up to sixth, which would give them a ticket for the Conference League. Still, they should have some hope, so maybe they put up a fight here. They need points. But Frankfurt, they gotta hold on to that fourth spot. Leipzig is breathing down their neck, only 3 points above Leipzig. So Frankfurt will come out ready for this game. I like them over 1.5 goals. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I agree. Stuttgart, I get what you're saying, but they're in such bad shape at the moment. They do score a lot. Three against Leverkusen, and but they still lose that game, or lost that game, and against Holstein Kiel, team at the bottom, you score two times, and but you still don't win. So, yeah, they concede a lot of goals, and Frankfurt at home, I think it's gonna be a really, really tumultuous climb. So, I'm uh, I'm going for a Frankfurt win.
I don't hate it. All right. Next up, Freiburg hosting Union. Freiburg wins set at 2.02. Union wins set at 4 line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, Union, they've had some surprising results over the last 6 games: a draw against Bayern, a win against Frankfurt, and a win against Hoffenheim. But listen, man, even those three good results, you shall call it, um, listen, man, they've been playing a lot of defense, sitting back, parking the bus, relying on a counter. Uh, it they've been very lucky, and even if in the games again against Hoffenheim where they scored 4 goals, I wouldn't call it necessarily luck if you score 4 goals, but this their style of play. Let's say I'm not amused. So I don't think that will give you much success in every game. Going on the road now against Freiburg, not a great team. Still, Freiburg at home. I like Freiburg here. Basically, I think Freiburg needs to score 1 goal and they could beat Union here. What are you doing?
Oh yeah, Freiburg needs to win. They are with four games without a win. Playing at home against Union, yeah, you can't. I think you would be stupid to put your money somewhere else. So I'm also on Freiburg.
Yeah, they're 3 games without a win, but I agree with everything you're saying. All right. Next up, Dortmund hosting Mainz. Dortmund wins set at 1.7. Mainz wins set at 5. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, it's basically over for Dortmund, right? For
Yeah.
this for the Bundesliga,
Yes,
right?
yes. Now it's yeah. I think they can just focus on next season.
Yeah. So Mainz obviously sitting third. They have something to play for. But I still think Dortmund at home should be a tough out for Mainz. I'm not sure Mainz wins this game, but the way Dortmund's playing, I'm not putting my money on Dortmund either. And also, obviously, Dortmund still in the Champions League, so their focus should be somewhere else. Mainz is the better team on the road, but I'll take Mainz double chance. What are you doing here?
How many games left in the Bundesliga? Is it eight? I
Yeah,
think
so, yeah,
eight.
8 games left.
Eight games, right? Yeah, so yeah, Dortmund, if they win the remaining eight games, they still have a chance.
Yeah,
So yeah,
winning
that's
out.
yeah, that's gonna be really difficult. So yeah, but you don't. It's only finished when you know when the competition is over. So. Um, I don't completely count them out, but this is going to be a difficult one for them also. I think, and I also think they're focusing on the Champions League. Mainz is gonna, I think a little bit hungrier. So I'm uh I'm on Mainz, and only the odds also very very attractive. So
Yeah, I would say. Now, listen, like you said, don't count out Dortmund, and that for that reason, I'm taking a double chance for Mainz. But any other any other reason, logic reason, man, you have to take Mainz for a straight up win. I'm sticking with the double chance, slightly less value, but less game in the Bundesliga. Now let's get to Serie A. First game, Venezia hosting Bologna. Venezia wins set at 4.9. Bologna wins set at 1.81. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, even if it's 2.5, I'm these two teams, I'm not even looking at the over. Venezia basically they can't score goals. They've scored in like 2 games out of the last 8. So obviously, I like Bologna here. Now, also always tough to back Bologna on the road, but For a team that can't score, I guess Bologna only has to score one goal, and they're a pretty solid defensive team. So don't expect Venezia really to get on the score sheet here. 1-0 win for Bologna should be it. What are you doing here?
Yeah, 4 wins in a row, just one loss out of the last six. So yeah, you have to go for Bologna here. Venezia, yeah, don't it doesn't look too good for them. I think yeah, for them it's over. Uh, I think for them it's definitely over, you know.
No,
So
I wouldn't say it's completely over. Like they're 5 points behind Parma, so I guess
yeah, yes. Yeah, I
long
mean,
shot, long shot. But
oh, shit, yes. So yeah, I agree with you. Bologna win.
all right. Next up, Como hosting Empoli. Como wins set at 1.77. Empoli wins set at 5.4. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, 1.77, I think it's too low for Como. I get it, they're the better team, but these teams, they've allowed the same amount of goals, 46. So it's not like Como's that much better. And Empoli only 3 points behind Parma, so they definitely still have a chance to climb out of relegation. And I think they will be fighting for that here. So I'm not high on Como this week. Um, Actually skipping this game. What are you doing?
But Como, yeah, maybe they had a rough three matches, you know, the last three, but still, for a team that I hadn't heard of, you know, 2 seasons ago, they're uh, they're really doing a good job in the Serie A, you know, sitting 13th and you know, able to stay one more season. So I'm at home after the you know the interland break. I'm going for Como again, especially because they're playing at home. So
All right, I'm staying away because I do expect Empoli to really be desperate for points here. You know, we're getting towards the end of the season. They want to climb out of the relegation zone. So, um, for Como, 177 for me, not worth it. All right. Next up, Juventus hosting Genoa. Juventus wins set at 1.53. Genoa wins set at 7.5. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, listen, man, like I said, I wasn't backing Como at 177, but I am backing Juventus at 153. New coach, new bounce. Juventus at home. Listen, they fired their coach. Fair, maybe. The results weren't that good last couple of games, but new coach doesn't matter who the coach is. If there's a new coach, a good team, the better team at home, they usually win. Give me Juventus here. What are you doing?
yeah, I don't think it was necessary to fire the coach. You could just wait till the end of the season because yeah, Juventus I don't think they still have something
Oh,
to
they still have a chance to climb into the top four spot because right now they're 1 point behind Bologna. They're fifth, so you still want to qualify for Champions League next season.
yeah, maybe that, but I don't think he's gonna be able to get more out of the team. Yeah, maybe the first 2 matches, you know, that they'll, you know, the players will maybe go that extra mile, but I think in the end it will remain the same. So no, I'm gonna skip Juventus 153. Yeah, that's just a little bit too low, and especially a team like Juventus.
Guys, for me, it's for me, it's the exact reason why I'm backing them 1.53. I get it, it's low, but it's Juventus. They're at home. Even if you count the struggles in, they're still way better than Genoa. Like I said, and they're playing at home. So for me, the 1.53, I like it.
Okay,
All
good
right.
luck.
All right. Maybe parlay it with some other team to get an bump up the value a little bit. All right, next up, Lecce hosting Roma. Lecce wins set at 4.9. Roma wins set at 1.78. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, Lecce, four straight losses, but guess you could say they've been competitive in the last two, three, or one nothing loss against Fiorentina. 3-2 loss against AC Milan and 2-1 against Genoa. Now the Genoa 1-1 is bad, but that was on the road. Now they're at home. Still at home on the road, they don't score a lot of goals. So uh, guess you have to back Roma here because Roma they could put up goals, right?
Yeah, backing Roma, but over 2.5. I'm looking at the over 2.5 in this game. I think Roma will win, but Lecce maybe scores a goal. So I'm going for the over 2.5.
All right. Next up, Cagliari hosting Monza. Do we need to talk about this game because Monza obviously they're out of it, only 15 points, sitting dead last. Like there's no way they're climbing out of the relegation zone. So maybe you wanna sprinkle something on Cagliari, but I don't really think it's worth it because Cagliari obviously also not that good. And if you look at the goal difference between Cagliari and Monza, also not a huge gap. Just like Cagliari scored 28 goals, Monza 24, Monza allowed 49, Cagliari 44. So I don't think the gap is that big. And also Monza, maybe they've accepted their fate, playing a little bit more freely in their head, and for some reason they win this game. So I'm skipping this game. Or are you doing something?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna follow you on this one. I'm skipping also.
All right. Next up, Fiorentina hosting Atalanta. Fiorentina wins set at 3.75. Atalanta wins set at 2.05. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, Atalanta coming off a loss against Inter, but we get it. Acceptable. It's Inter. Um, Fiorentina, now listen, I'm not sure I want to talk about this game because as you know, I backed Juventus in that game against Fiorentina. You told me not to do it. I didn't listen.
Mm.
Juventus kind of got their teeth kicked in and sacked their coach. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But listen, man, Atalanta, different story.
And
They,
you don't learn because you're going to Juventus again.
yeah, but this time it's Kano, all right? This time play at home. All
Okay,
right,
okay, that's
new
good.
coach, like I said, different story. But listen, man, Atalanta back to this game. Atalanta 6 points behind Inter, so not completely out of the title race. You don't want to get further behind. Fiorentina also their focus, their priorities should be somewhere else. I like Atalanta in this spot. What are you doing?
Yeah, Atalanta, yes, but I'm still just gonna, play it safe and over 2.5. I'm just gonna choose the odd that's maybe just in the middle. So over 2.5 for me again because Atalanta they seem to score a lot and I think Fiorentina will definitely score. They're playing at home. So over 2.5.
Yeah, and listen, man, Atalanta obviously they got shut out by Inter 2-0, but before that, 4 goals against Juventus. And before that, they got shut out against Venezia, but before that, 5 goals against Empoli. So we may be in for a shootout.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Inter hosting Udinese. Inter wins set at 1.4. Udinese wins set at 9. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, Udinese, they've been in good form last couple of games. Only one loss, but a bad loss against Hellas Verona. How does that happen? Uh, Now they go on the road against Inter. I don't think you really have to say much about this game. Inter at the top, at home. They should win this game. 1.4. I think it's slightly good odds. Maybe combine this with Juventus. What are you doing?
Yes, with Juventus, no, man. No, sir, thank you. No, no, I'm like you said, Inter at home, 1.4. Yeah, that's just a little bit too low. Over 2.5. Yeah, maybe, but no, I'm just gonna put this game to rest.
I'm definitely skipping the over 2.5 in this game. All right. Next up, Napoli hosting AC Milan. Napoli wins set at 1.92. AC Milan wins set at 4.1. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, Napoli, second in the league now, 3 points behind Inter. AC Milan sitting ninth. They still have a bit of an outside chance to climb up to six and play Conference League, but like who really cares to play Conference League? For
Yes.
AC Milan, that's not enough, right? So
No.
Napoli, the better team throughout the season, they're at home. and they're the more desperate team because only 3 points behind Inter. You still want a challenge for the title. So 1.92. I like Napoli here. What are you doing?
And Napoli, they should have been maybe even leveled with Inter at the moment. You know, they dropped too many points in the last 6 games. You know, draws and loss, and so now against AC Milan, I think they'll take the chance. They're playing at home. Lukaku comes back with a good feeling uh, from his uh, from his national team. So I'm I'm going for Napoli.
All right. Next up, Hellas Verona hosting Parma. Two awful teams on a Monday. Definitely skipping this one, right?
Yeah, I don't need to say more. Yes.
All right. Next up, Lazio hosting Torino. Lazio wins set at 1.78. Torino wins set at 5.2. Line for total goals set at 3.5. Um, sorry, no, set at. For some reason, this line's shifting a little bit crazy, right? So basically, you can't. Oh, sorry, it's sitting at 2.5. Right.
Is it two and
So
a half?
yeah, something in a there was a glitch here. Right, the line's sitting at 2.5. Now I like obviously a Monday game, but I still like Lazio in this spot. They're sitting six. They still have a chance to climb up to fourth and qualify for the Champions League. Torino, their fate is basically sealed. They're gonna finish in the middle. Lazio's playing at home. They should win this game. What are you doing?
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I'm a Lazio also.
And also, they have to bounce back from that awful 5-0 loss against Bologna. It was just
Yeah, yeah,
horrible.
it's terrible. Yeah.
All right. Now that wraps up Serie A. Let's get to La Liga. First game, Real Sociedad hosting Valladolid. Sociedad wins set at 1.35. Valladolid wins set at 11.5. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, not a lot to say about this game. Two teams that I guess they hate scoring if you look at how they're playing.
Yeah, or afraid of scoring.
They're afraid to score goals, right? Maybe that's better said. So, listen, man, I think it will be a very low scoring game. I don't understand how the line is sitting at 2.5. Maybe because Valladolid is like that awful. They expect Sociedad to really get loose here. I don't. Sociedad only 25 goals scored in 28 games. Valladolid 18 and 28 games. I'm going with the under 2.5 goals here. I like Sociedad. Maybe a 1-0 win. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'd like to see that, but me maybe a draw. But yeah, I think that they really need a win now because if you don't win this game against Valladolid, sitting dead last, then I think they can fire this coach. So yeah,
Yeah.
Valladolid win. You don't get a lot, so actually I'm gonna skip this game.
All right. Next up, Espanyol hosting Athletic Madrid. Espanyol wins set at 6. Athletic Madrid wins set at 1.66. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, 166, not great value, but for Atletico Madrid in this spot, I like 166. I think it's good value. Now, these teams, they already met, of course, once this season at home. Now, Espanyol was so lucky to get this. Atletico Madrid, they had 25 shots and the game ended in a 0-0 draw. So how Espanyol escaped with a point, I don't get it. Atletico Madrid coming off the international break, knocked out of the Champions League, you still have a shot to win the league. No way they're dropping points in this game. Give me Atletico Madrid. What are you doing?
Yeah, I don't. I think the chances of winning the league, I think it's still. I think when they lost the game against Barcelona, I think that was the I think the uppercut. Yeah,
I get what you're saying, but listen, man, Barcelona still has to play against Real Madrid, right? So now you're 7 points behind Real Madrid, and no, you're 7 points behind Barcelona,
mhm.
four behind Real Madrid. So if
Yeah,
things kind of fall your way, Real Madrid were to beat Barcelona, and okay, then you still
yeah,
have to
but
rely on Real Madrid dropping points, but there's an outside chance.
Yeah, but like you said, Barca and Real need to have like a bad streak of what 3, 4 games for them to, and Atletico Madrid needs to win everything. So no, I think it's definitely between Real and Barca now. But in this game, um, Atletico 4 losses. Yeah, that's a lot for Atletico Madrid in a row. So yeah, they this is a must win against Espanyol, because if they don't, then it's definitely over. So I would definitely put my money on Atletico Madrid.
All right, I'm joining you. Next up, Alaf is hosting Rayo. Uh, Definitely a game I'm skipping. Do you like that game?
No, of course not. No,
All
no.
right. Next up, Real Madrid hosting Leganes. And listen, man, not a lot to say. Real Madrid wins at 1.14. Don't expect them to drop points in this game. Are you doing something here?
No, no. Yeah, okay. Real, they're used to dropping points against small teams for some reason. I think, yeah, for some reason, I think it's more arrogance sometimes. But I think they will be definitely knowing that this game is a one of the most important games for the championship. So yeah, uh, Real win.
And listen, man, Leganes already beat Barcelona and Atletico Madrid. So
So, so
it would be
Real
something
is warned.
if they were, it would be something if they were to beat the top three.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Getafe hosting Villarreal. Getafe wins set at 3.45. Villarreal wins set at 2.3. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, I don't really like either team to win this game. I'm not trusting Villarreal on the road. Definitely not. But this man, Villarreal, if there's one thing they can't do, that's defend. So although Getafe is a team that doesn't score much with the defense that, let's say Villarreal's defense is suspect at best. Getafe should get on the score sheet here. So I'm looking at both teams to score, sitting at 1.98, closer to the one. I like that out. Don't really trust either team to win this game. Are you doing something here?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Both teams to score. I think you can get maybe the most out of that, because the last 6 games these two played against each other were all draws. Two of them 1-1, the other two 0-0. So yeah, I don't expect a lot of goals. So maybe a 1-1 again. It will be the third in a row for in yeah, 1 year time. So yes, yeah, I agree.
All right. Next up, Barcelona hosting Girona. Barcelona wins set at 1.25. Girona wins set at 10.5. Line for the goal set at 3.5. Now, obviously, not a lot of value on backing Barca here, but this man, Barca, they could get loose and score. They don't stop putting pressure, right? Just as you saw in the game against Osasuna in midweek, and Osasuna is actually a team that, although they've allowed more than Girona, it looks like they're playing better defense overall. So against Girona, Barcelona could easily score 4 goals, and if they don't, they score three. Girona gets one. You still get the over 3.5. So over 3.5 is a bet I like in this game. Are you doing something?
And I know, but Girona, this one could be a banana peel for Barcelona if they don't look out, because it's Girona hasn't won in 6, so yeah, I think they should be careful. 3 draws in a row. So, but I'm not doing anything this game. 127 still, and over 3.5. I don't think it's gonna happen this game.
All right, I do. Next up, Athletic Bilbao hosting Osasuna. Bilbao wins set at 1.45. Osasuna wins set at 8. Line for Turco set at 2.5. Now, Bilbao, the better team here, but the same reason you have concern for Barcelona, I have concerns for Athletic Bilbao. Osasuna, man, they're in desperate need of points, 7 games without a win. Um, So I'm not really trusting Bilbao in this spot. I think they have the advantage here. They're at home. Osasuna's coming off a midweek game. Bilbao's the better team, but still, I think 145 is a little bit too low for me in this spot. What are you doing?
Yeah, that's why I'm going for the over 2.5. I get what you're saying, and I'm gonna play it safe and just go for the over 2.5.
I would say I don't hate that. All right.
Yeah.
Next up, Betis hosting Sevilla. El Betis wins set at 1.91. Sevilla wins set at 4.5. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, Derby, so crazy things can always happen. But listen, man, Betis, they have Anthony, so gotta back them, right?
Yeah, they have they have Anthony. Yeah, right. Yeah, I hope he gets what is it, second or yeah, third chance. Now, I agree. I'm I'm going with Betis. Yeah, they seem to be in good form. The last 6 games, they didn't lose none of them. So I'm I want to go for Betis at home.
Yeah, and listen, man, obviously I'm joking about Anthony, but Betis, they've lost one game in the last, what's it, 9 games. They're at home. Overall, they've been better this season. Not a lot better than Sevilla, but overall, they've been better. And, a derby at home. It's always better to back the home team in these spots. So um, I'm also going with Betis here. All right. Next up, Celta hosting Las Palmas. Celta win set at 1.56. Las Palmas win set at 6.25. Line for total goals sitting at 2.5. Now, Monday game, and for a Monday game, the 1.56, a little bit too low. And now, the same reason I'm not backing teams, like I said, in Serie A who are playing against teams who are fighting to get out of the relegation zone. Las Palmas, 25 points, only 2 points behind Leganes and Alaves. So they may see this as a chance to, get some points here. I don't really like Celta here. Are you doing something?
Yeah, yeah, when the end is near for these teams, they always seem to, magically find a way to score goals and win games. So I always think, yeah, why didn't you do that at the beginning of the season? So
Yeah, crazy.
yes, yes, crazy. Yeah, so I get what you're saying, and especially because it's Monday, I think for the gamblers out there, Las Palmas is the way to go then.
I would agree. All right. That wraps up La Liga. Let's get to the Eredivisie. First game, Breda hosting Groningen. Breda wins set at 2.5. Groningen wins set at 3.05. Line for the goal set at 2.5. Now, listen, man, I get it. Groningen, they're above Breda in the standings, but they're not that much better. Actually, right now, I'm not sure they're better. And now Breda's playing at home, obviously not trusting Groningen on the road at all. And if you look at Breda's home record, the home games they've lost were against good teams, all right? PSV, AZ, Utrecht, um, one against Heerenveen. Okay, that's kind of a slip-up game, but other than that, they've been good at home, solid at least.
Yeah.
Listen, man, I have to back Breda here, 2.5. I like these odds. What are you doing?
Yeah, Breda, they've been in the top 10 at least half of the season. So it actually going south when the new year started. January, February, they had a lot of draws, lost a few games. So but actually they are better than that at the moment. They played against Almere. That was a draw. That should have happened. And against Sparta, they were a little bit unlucky. And of Utrecht, of course, that one you can lose. So now against Groningen, I think they're gonna enter the top 10 again. So Breda win.
Yeah, I agree with everything you're saying. All right, next up, Fortuna hosting Sparta. Fortuna wins set at 3.35. Sparta wins set at 2.28. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, one thing I don't understand is why Sparta's favored in this game. I'm not sure Sparta's better. And they're on the road. And Fortuna's 8, while Sparta's 15, fighting for relegation. So guess maybe that same point holds up, right? They're in desperate need of points. But Fortuna is fighting for a playoff spot. Um, Listen, man, I think Fortuna's the better team. They're at home. I don't understand why Sparta's favored.
Yeah.
Give me Fortuna here. What are you doing?
Yeah, the year started a little bit bad for Fortuna. Yeah, I think they lost 3 games in a row, or maybe even 4.
That was four.
But yeah, but after that, a win against RKC and against Heracles. Um, yeah, okay. Unlucky against Groningen. I think Fortuna was still the better team there. But against Sparta, yeah, like you said, I don't know why Sparta's odds are lower and Fortuna playing at home. So no, I'm definitely going for Fortuna.
All right. I'm also going for Fortuna. Next up, Willem to hosting Almere City. Now, this is going to be a ugly, ugly, ugly game. So I'm not betting it. Are you?
Uh, maybe just goals. Maybe just goals. I think they both think that they can win this game. So uh, the over 2.5. Just uh, just to see.
Well, listen, man. Anything that involves goals and Almere City, I'm not in. So I'm skipping this game. All right. Next up, NEC hosting AZ. NEC win set at 3.6. AZ win set at 2.16. Line for Torgo set at 2.5. AZ coming off a draw against Ajax. NEC coming off a desperate win against Utrecht, and we actually called that one. NEC hadn't won in a while, so it was a good spot for them. Now they host AZ, and listen, man, AZ obviously, I'm not sure Champions League is in play for them. I think not, obviously not. 14 points behind PSV, you're out of it. But you could still climb to fourth, past Feyenoord. So Azet is the more desperate team here. I still think they're a little bit better, even though they're on the road. I like them here. And I actually also like the over 2.5 goals in this game. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, over 2.5. Yeah, I would agree. But AZ playing against Ajax at you know at a lot of moments in the game, they were the better team. So honestly, I think they should have won. But yeah, things went the other way. Yeah, of course, the referee also made a few bad decisions. So against NEC, I still think they are the favorites, and the odds are very very tempting. So uh, I'm going for AZ.
All right. Next up, Peck hosting RKC, and this man, another ugly game. For me, it's like Willem II against Almere City, so I'm
Yeah,
skipping this game. Any thoughts on this game?
yeah, no, no, this one I am gonna agree with you. I'm gonna skip, but again, for the gamblers out there, just an advice. I will go for RKC. Yes, because just like Willem II and Almere City, these two both think they can win this game. And if I needed to put my money on a team, it would be RKC. So they are in slightly better form. And of course, they have the player. What's his name again? He used to play for PSV. I think he's starting to get his groove again. Uh, you know, so I think I would go for RKC.
Man, all right, okay. So you're obviously talking about Iataren, right?
Right? Yes. Yeah. That. always forgetting his name. Yes, yeah, yeah, Taran. Yes, he. I think he's in much better form at the moment, and he was the one that made RKC score a few points the last 3 games.
I don't necessarily disagree with what you're saying, but I can't make a case for either team here. So like I said, I'm skipping this game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying for the gamblers. That's
All
the
right.
that just it. The 5-0 against Breda, the 1-4 against RKC. They played very very good. And when you come against Twente and then against Fortuna, which is a good team. So and PSV, of course. So now they are playing Pek Zwolle, that is in a lot of much worse shape. So that's why I would put my money on RKC.
All right. Just because we spent so much time talking about this game, I'm gonna put like five five euros on this game. I'm gonna back
Okay.
RKC.
Okay.
Odds are interesting. Get some pizza money. All
Yeah,
right.
okay.
Next up, Utrecht hosting Heerenveen. Utrecht wins set at 1.78. Heerenveen wins set at 4.8. Line for total goals set at 3.5. Now, Utrecht, I don't know what's going on with them, man. Obviously, I know they've won 2 out of the last 5 games against Willem II and Breda, 2 awful teams. But before that, man, they had a rough stretch, 5 games without a win, and of course the loss against NEC in the last game. But Heerenveen on the road, they're pretty bad, right? So Utrecht in desperate need of points. Here, I like Utrecht. What are you doing?
Yes, I'm joining you on this one. Also, back to back, home game, losing one that you should have won, and I don't think they're gonna let the boat slide. Otherwise, the third spot is gonna get really really small for them. So chances of ending third. So yeah, I'm on Utrecht.
All right. Next up, Heracles hosting Twente. Heracles wins set at 4.4. Twente wins set at 1.83. Line per total goal set at 2.5. Now, if you look at this game, you may say, all right, Twente, obviously better team, which may be true, but on the road, not so sure. And obviously, if you look at Heracles' home record, man, they've been pretty solid at home. Furthermore, the head-to-head matchup, it doesn't really favor Twente, at least not when Heracles is playing at home. If you look at the last 6 games, 4 draws, 2 wins for Heracles. So I'm not backing Twente in this spot. What are you doing?
It's a derby, so that's why it's always difficult for for Twente to play at home or to play at Almelo. So Almelo, when they host Twente, it's like they're playing like almost like a Champions League team. So that's the thing. It's a real battle. So these games are always difficult for Twente. Most likely, this game will end in a draw. So 1-1,
Yeah,
correct
and
score.
for that reason, there is a bet I like in this game, and that is both teams to score sitting at 1.74. Um, when these teams, like Rory said, it's a derby. When they meet each other, usually a lot of goals. All right, usually both teams score. The last time both teams failed to score was in 2010. Listen, man. Since then, 2-2, 1-1, 2-2, 2-1, 1-1, 2-0, 4-1. Like a lot of goals in this game. And I think we'll get the same here. Both teams to score. Pretty safe bet. 1.74. That's what I like. All right. Next up, PSV hosting Ajax. PSV wins set at 1.76. Ajax wins set at 4.7. Line for total goals set at 3.5. Now, man, start of the season, I couldn't imagine Ajax being 6 points clear of PSV at this point in the season, but yet here we are. Uh, PSV 78 goals scored on the season. Ajax only 55, but for some reason they're still falling behind. At home, I think this is a good spot for PSV. The first time they met, Ajax came back, won the game. And like you said, last time Ajax played against AZ wasn't really a great game for Ajax, even though they were playing at home. So I think it's all or nothing for PSV in this game, which may be tricky because if you go all out, Ajax scores a goal first, you may be behind the sticks. So, but still, I'm gonna back PSV. What are you doing?
Yeah, just maybe just a little, but Ajax, I think that they are just going to Eindhoven for a draw, because it's gonna be a difficult game. PSV had it difficult. They had a they have a lot of injuries, so yeah, their second striker that's also very good, but
But now they're now
still,
they're actually getting healthy, right? So only three players missing for this game, and it's only one that's kind of important.
yeah, Malik Tillman will be back,
Yes,
but I don't think he'll be in the starting 11. Ricardo Pepi
he's
is
still
still
out.
injured.
Yeah, he's out.
He's still out, and also the defender they just I think he had a tuberculosis or something.
Yeah,
Um,
Perez is also out for this game, and Fofana is also out for this game.
yeah. So it's still not PSV in top form. So and also the midfielders are underperforming, like Veerman, and so yeah, I would still go for a draw.
All right, I kind of agree with you. For Ajax, you need to get a draw. You're 6 points clear. Just get a draw, and you're basically the champs. So, but PSV, man, it's all or nothing, and they're gonna play like it at home. I expect them to get a win.
Yeah, I hope so.
All right. Next up, Feyenoord hosting Go Ahead Eagles. Feyenoord win set at 1.46. Go Ahead Eagles win set at 7. Line for Turgo set at 3.5. Now, first, Feyenoord just smashed Twente last time out 6-2.
Yeah,
Um,
it was terrible.
yeah,
Terrible.
yeah, yeah. But I don't think that's a sign of things to come, right? So I still need to see more to really start believing in Feyenoord and what the new coach is doing. So not sure they win this game. Obviously, the Cup also always a tough place to play. But a team like Go Ahead Eagles, they could really give Feyenoord some trouble here. So again, another game where I'm looking at both teams to score, scoring at 1.65. What are you doing here?
Yeah, but let this sink in. Go ahead, Eagles. Just 3 points behind Feyenoord. Just three. They won 2 games in a row against PSV, and I don't know, they just keep winning. They won against NEC. They won against Willem too. So it's I think in their mind they're hard to beat. So that's a good start. I don't think Feyenoord is gonna have an easy match on when is the game on Sunday. So yeah, so I am both teams to score, mm, but small lean towards Feyenoord. Both teams to score, Feyenoord win.
All right. Obviously, that gives you some more value. And like I said, Feyenoord at home, tough place to play, but I expect Go Ahead Eagles to really give them a run for their money. All right, now that wraps up the Eredivisie. No Premier League action this weekend. They're playing on Tuesday, Wednesday, so we'll get to those games and give you some quick picks. First game, Wolves hosting West Ham. Not a lot to say about this game because I'm skipping that game. Both teams actually at the bottom, 17 and 16, but there's still a lot of points clear from Ipswich, who is 18. So I think relegation battle in the Premier League is basically over. Don't think either team is really playing for anything. Um, Maybe you could say Wolves needs the points a little bit more because they're only 9 points clear of Ipswich, but I don't think Ipswich catching them. So I'm skipping this game. Or are you doing something?
Oh no, I'm gonna follow you. I'm gonna skip this one also.
All right. Next up, Arsenal hosting Fulham. Arsenal win set at 1.46. Fulham win set at 8.5. Line for total goal set at 2.5. And Arsenal, okay, title race over, right? 12 points in, behind Liverpool. Uh, don't know what they're actually playing for at this point because they're also 10 points clear of City, who's sitting fifth. Um, Given that this is a derby, I do expect Fulham to give them a run for their money. So I'm looking at the over 2.5 goals here. What are you doing?
Yeah, it's still a derby, so yeah, I'm you know Arsenal sitting second, but I think that Arsenal is more afraid of Fulham than the other way around. So my feeling tells me to go for Fulham. So uh, I'm uh, I'm going for Fulham in this one.
Yeah, that's why I'm sticking with the over 2.5. Now, I'm not sure Fulham wins, but if they were to win, they would have to score at least 2 goals. So I think the over 2.5 is a little bit safer. But
Yeah, but the
I'm
odds are
giving.
insane.
Yeah, yeah,
Eight
I get it.
five for
I get it.
like Arsenal is a team that doesn't drop any points or doesn't make mistakes. Yeah, no,
The
so
Invincibles.
I think it's terrible. And the last three games they played against each other, draws and Fulham winning. So yeah, it's not all that sure that Arsenal is going to win this game. So.
Yeah, and furthermore, the last couple of games for Arsenal, there's one game that sticks out, the 7-1 against PSG. But other than that, man, 1-0 against Chelsea, 1-1 against United, 0-0 against Nottingham Forest, even a 1-0 loss at home against West Ham United. Listen, man, Fulham obviously better than West Ham, so I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Forest hosting United. Forest win set at 2.2. United win set at 3.4. Line for the goal set at 2.5. Now Forest sitting third. They're five. No, they're 6 points clear of of City, who's sitting fifth. So Forest, they should keep winning. I think Champions League for a team like this is just really, really important. Would be like an historic for them. Historic performers finishing in the top four. And
Yeah, it's like a championship for them
yeah,
almost. Yeah.
yeah. And United, their fate is sealed, right? 13th, 37 points. They should be getting ready for next season, right? So, Forest, obvious win here. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm going for Forest also. Also, Forest, they'll just get put everything in this game, and I don't think United is capable of defending that. So yeah, over 2.5 is also an interesting one, but I would also go for a Forest win.
All right. Next up, Newcastle hosting Brentford. Newcastle wins 1.72. Brentford wins set at 4.5. Line for the total goal set at 3.5. I really like Newcastle in this game. Fresh off beating Liverpool, winning a prize for this season, EFL Cup. Still, it's something for Newcastle United. Should give them a lot of confidence. Brentford on the road, 5 straight wins. I'm not giving them a sixth. And Newcastle, tough place to play. I know they've lost 3 out of the last 5 home games, but still, Newcastle, tough place to play at home. They're solid overall. So give me Newcastle here. What are you doing?
Nah, not that sure. I think they're still partying there in Newcastle.
No,
The
man,
first prize in what in 50 years.
yeah, something like that. But
Yeah, so yeah, man, come on.
it's been 2 weeks, man. You should be done partying. It's been 2 weeks. You should
Yeah,
be done partying.
who can say? I think that there's still on the cloud. Yeah, they'll win maybe, but over 3.5 is maybe too high. But no, I'm gonna skip this one. I don't trust them. I think they're still uh, they just finished partying yesterday or something. So uh, yeah.
All right. Next up, Bournemouth hosting Ipswich. Bournemouth win set at 1.38. Ipswich win set at 8.5. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Now, I already said it earlier. Ipswich, they're done. They should be looking for the championship next season. Bournemouth at home should bounce back here. If Bournemouth scores one goal, it's gonna get even worse for Ipswich because no confidence at all at the moment. Um, Obviously low value backing Bournemouth, but that's the way to go. What are you doing?
Yeah, low value. I agree. Ipswich is just, one of the teams that, that, if they wanted to give up or just say, I know, let another team of the championship take my place, I'll just go back now. So that's Ipswich Town. No, Bournemouth, like you said, not much value there. So skipping also.
All right, next up, Southampton hosting Crystal Palace. Southampton win set at 5.25. Palace win set at 1.71. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, listen, man, anytime you get a chance to bet against Southampton, you gotta do it. 1.7, great odds against Southampton. Palace, they're not world beaters, but just like Ipswich, Southampton, their fate is sealed. Only 9 points on the season, 70 goals.
9 points, 9 points. I mean, even Ipswich though has
Yeah,
9 points.
Ipswich has like double,
So,
almost double Southampton in
yeah,
points.
yeah, it's terrible. But okay, yeah,
Yeah, so obviously Palace win, right?
yeah, definitely Palace win. They're in good form. 5 straight wins. Yeah, can't go any better than that.
All right, next up, City hosting Leicester City. City wins. Listen, man, not a lot to say about this game. City wins set at 1.17. We all know Leicester City's awful. Should be one of the teams that should also get relegated. Uh, Leveled on points with Ipswich, so fate also sealed. They're not going at City and picking up points. Doesn't matter how bad City is. So, are you doing anything?
Yeah, no, I think he just said everything about this game.
All right, next up, Brighton hosting Aston Villa. Brighton wins set at 2.04. Villa wins set at 3.55. Line for total goals set at 3.5. Now, listen, I have a slight lean towards Brighton. They're at home and they're in good form, but they're playing an important match on the weekend against against Nottingham Forest in the FA Cup. So I want to see how that game goes before I really make my pick here in this game because I think both Aston Villa and Brighton, these teams are very close to each other, right? Only 2 points separates them in the standings.
Yeah,
Uh,
they're close. Yeah,
yeah, they both have an outside chance to, and not even an outside, maybe a good chance to climb up to sixth and get a Conference League spot or maybe even fifth if City were to really fall off. So I'm waiting on this game, but I have a slight lean towards Brighton. What are you doing?
yeah, lean towards Brighton. But like you said, look how the game in the weekend goes first, and then choose.
All right. Next up, Liverpool hosting Everton. Liverpool wins set at 1.38. Everton wins set at 9.5. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, last time when these two teams met, Everton, they picked up a draw and celebrated like they won the league. Yeah, right. So, Liverpool
Yeah, yeah,
back-to-back losses, not great, knocked out of the Champions League. I think that was fair. I think over two games, PSG they were the better team because
yeah.
the
They're
first
the better.
game at PSG was definitely better, right?
Yeah,
Liverpool was very lucky, and now the second game, obviously very close. Now and also they lost against Newcastle, the EFL. I get it. The league is almost but wrapped up, but still, you're at home. You gotta make a statement here. 1.38. Liverpool's gotta win, right?
I think Everton is in trouble. Yeah, this time around. Yeah. So yeah, Liverpool win.
All right. Next up, Chelsea hosting Tottenham. Chelsea wins 1.68. Tottenham wins set at 4.6. Line for total goals, 3.5. Now, Chelsea, they're sitting fourth. You want to keep Manchester City away, only 1 point above Manchester City. So some urgency there. They gotta pick up points. They're at home, and listen, man, Tottenham is just this man. They're below United, and that's all you gotta say, right? They're below Manchester United.
Yes. Sitting
So
at 14th. 14th. I mean,
it's just pretty awful. Both of these teams, United and Tottenham, just awful seasons. I think they can't wait for it to be over. Like they're so many points clear of Ipswich. So obviously Ipswich not catching anybody, but so Tottenham and Manchester United, they're not playing for anything. Give me Chelsea. What are you doing?
yeah. Nothing more to add. Tottenham is not looking at them at all. So, yeah, it's all I can say that, yeah, it's a derby. So, yeah, maybe they want to play a decent game for a change. But, yeah, but otherwise, it would be maybe even an easy Chelsea win.
Yeah. All right. Now that wraps up the Premier League and that wraps up all of our picks and leads. So, quick recap for the bets we like is I like Wolfsburg to win. I like Napoli to win, Atletico Madrid, Heracles Twente, both teams to score, Feyenoord Go Ahead Eagles, also both teams to score. And for the midweek game, I like two games, Chelsea and Nottingham Forest. And obviously, there were some great value picks that may seem risky, but uh, high confidence we have in them. Breda winning at 2.5, Fortuna winning at 3.35, and obviously in RKC odd at 3.6. I don't like it, but Sergio, you like it. Also, what are your picks?
Yeah, of course I'm going for the Frankfurt, the Freiburg one, also Napoli, like you said, Breda, Fortuna and AZ, of course, and the two mid games, Fulham and Nottingham. Those are the ones I have.
All right. Guys, like we always say, bet smart, bet with your head, set your limits, and stay within your means. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, good weekend, everybody.